Right guys, this is a pond that you've seen before on the channel, but Craig, who the owner is, he's definitely into the technical side of things, and he likes to understand everything that's going on in a pond. A lot of people, well, the majority of people, they just want to come home at night, feed the fish, and then that's it. But Craig's really got into the aspects of how the pond works and stuff like that. We did a video on this pond, and if you remember, it was the one where we put our hand down the sides and we saw all the fines come off from the thing, and then he put a blanket weed treatment in and it improved to no end. And that's what we were saying at the time, that even the small bits of algae can be combated with blanket weed treatment. So anyway, so Craig's been doing it, and you've probably been using a little bit more blanket weed than normal, haven't you?
Yeah.
The treatment. Yeah. So he's been putting that treatment in. So anyway, all it was is that when I was in America a few weeks ago, I heard a flippant comment, and we have been trying to work on this similar thing. We have been looking at flow rates and stuff like that, because, you know, flow rates are the key to any pond. But when I was in the States, in the office, when they were all milling around at Fitz's, somebody called up and they mentioned that they'd got fines in the pond. Now, as in America, the bead system is used probably 99% of everywhere in the States. And the guy just made a flippant remark on the phone, and he just said, "Oh yeah, no problem." He said, "Just turn your bead down half." So I never really thought much about it then. So, but then when me and Brian were in the car talking about it, we were talking about what the impacts are of him turning the beads down. And he said you'd never believe it, Tim. He said, you turn the beads down half the recommended flow rate. He said you'll see the results. It's just incredible. So that was that. And I got back on the Wednesday, and I called Craig on the Thursday morning, and I said, just do me a favour, will you? And he said, what? I said, just drop your bead, because on this pond it's a bead running from the skimmer, the 24-inch bead. And I just said, drop your bead down to about 7,000 litres an hour, right? So he was sort of like, why? I just said, just give it a go, just see what happens. Because he said he did have some fines in the pond. So we put it on there, and then 12 hours later, he sent me a video, which I'm going to put up on here now, and we'll talk to Craig in a minute, so you know that I'm not just putting something up here. And there was a massive improvement overnight, just overnight. And then by day 3, it was fantastic, weren't it? You know, day 3 there was nothing in the pond, and now I've just come up to do this video now, and we've done it again. Now we will discuss it more, but what I'll do is I'll just show you around the pond first, and then we'll get into the aspects of what we've done with the bead. So here's the pond, I'm sure you'll remember it. So the pond is 4,000 gallons. There's 14 fish in the pond, and Craig is feeding half a kilo a day. And that is due to go up at the end of the month to about 650 grams a day, which is what his feeding regime is. So the big fish as well, it's producing a lot of waste. The thing is with this pond as well, it's right in the sun all day, so it's central to the garden, and it's in the sun most of the day. So now the pond has got one bottom drain, as you can see. How long's it been running now, Craig?
Nearly 4 years.
4 years. So the pond's been running 4 years. Now, as you can see there, you can see all the way now. You see the bottom drain there, you can see it's clear as day. There's no bits really in the pond, there's nothing, there's a few tiny little things, but like I said, no filter system will give you any better than this. But anyway, so it's on the bottom drain, which is running into a Nexus 320. Now then, that is set at 10,000 litres, and it's coming back in through 2 returns off the Nexus. Yeah, so there's 2 returns coming back in off the Nexus, all spinning the same way at different heights. So you've got that, and then, which is the key thing on this, which is the keys on all our systems, is that we've got the skimmer, which is running into a 24-inch K1 micro bead, which is the previous model to this, but they still work exactly the same way. So this is the one this is the line, because people need to realise that on a skimmer unit, you're taking 50% of your top water out of the pond, so it definitely needs to be filtered, which is why, you know, the tempest and stuff like that. But you'll always notice with our systems is that we go into a bead for a number of reasons, really. One of the main reasons is if there's any an issue with your main filter, then you always got a backup filter which is running. So people that put everything onto one filter and then you have problems, then your pond's off for days. But like I said, this is how good it's looking at the moment. Let's just open the filter out so have a quick look. This one on the struts as well. It's so this is it. Fantastic little setup. This Craig did it all himself. So there's the bead, all insulated. You can tell he's a plumber. You got that up there. So, like I said, this is what we're going to be concentrating on. I'll show you inside the Nexus. And the Nexus is due a clean, he said. So, like I said, but you're putting a glass in, aren't you? You said you're putting a pint glass in, and there's just nothing coming out the back end of the Nexus.
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah. There was before we did this bead experiment that we've got going on. There was a little bit, but nothing major.
Right.
But since then, I've been checking it daily and monitoring everything as we go along. Not just the bead, but also the Nexus as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And even through the Nexus now, it's not drawing any fines through.
Nothing.
I'm running the Nexus a little bit more at 10,000 litres per hour anyway.
And you were, before this, you were pretty anal about the fines, weren't you?
Yeah.
They got, you know, but now this is it. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Let me just get through this system. So the returns off the bead, Craig, there's two, one and the blade.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
So there's one return going back into the pond, and then there's the blade, which is running over the back. So right, so let me turn it round and we'll have a chat with Craig. Yeah, let's go against the pond there. Right, so what was the bead on when we first started last week?
The bead was on 80%.
So it was on 80%, and that's what it's always been set
always
as.
been like
always
that.
been on. So
Yeah.
for the 4 years that you've had it, it's been. Well, we put the bead on secondary, didn't we? That was after the Nexus, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You got the bead later on, didn't you? So how long ago was that?
No, it was all fitted at the same time.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So last week it was running at 80% on a 20,000 pump.
Yeah.
So obviously you've got pipe work to take into consideration and stuff like that. So you were probably running it through at probably about 15,000 litres an hour.
Yeah, thereabouts.
Right, so what happened on Thursday?
So got the phone call off yourself, and to be fair, I was a bit.
You didn't think it was going to work?
I really didn't think it was going to work. In
No.
all honesty, and so I got home from work, cleaned the bead pretty much straight away, give it a thorough clean just to kind of run the experiment as best we can, and then turn the pump speed down, which is on a 20,000 litre per hour pump, on the bead down to 35%, which on the pump speed is 7,000 litres per hour. Throughout the pipe work, again, that would be probably even less. We're probably talking around about 6,000 litres per hour that we're running through, and the results just in that 12-hour period. I sent if you remember, I sent.
Yeah, you sent me another. I'll put all the videos on this video as well, so people can see. But just make sure that I'm not. You did send me the videos, didn't you? Do you know what I mean?
Sure,
so people don't.
Yeah.
So, and then, so what's been the process this week? Because what was it, like 4 days, and you started seeing a few?
Yeah. So what I wanted to do was afterwards, we kind of made the assumption that it was getting better and better over a certain amount of time. I wanted to see if it improved even further still, just by basically extending the period between cleans. So we did on the first of all, from the Thursday, we left it till the Sunday and then give it a clean. So that was 3 days. After that 3-day period, I then tried to leave it for as long as I can, or up to a week. I was hoping to clean it today. But then I was noticing that with the feeding that I've got going on, it's quite heavily fed even now. The fines were starting to gradually build back up again. So I did a clean on Friday. We did another thorough clean, so it was basically blowing the bead on the rinse section twice, and then backwashing it twice as well to kind of make sure I removed all the fines as much as possible.
Yeah.
So this pond, when I was cleaning it, was dropping round about probably 50-60 mil, which in this body of water is quite a lot of water. We was then putting it back on, and then yesterday morning another 12 hours had gone. Amazing again, and it's probably, as we see it now, is the best it's ever been, and that's without intervening with any kind of blanket weed treatments like I normally have to do.
And you've not turned the food down or anything like that?
No, I've left it. I've kind of run it so it's everything is, you know, in the pond's in normal function. Fish are happy, healthy, hungry, to say the least, and you know, I'm really happy with the results.
Yeah, I mean, it just looks amazing. I mean, like I say, with the videos, we'll see before and after on what it does, but I mean, you know, you can just see. Oh, it's just got me in the way. But you can see the back wall now, all the way. You can see when the fish go past, there's nothing in here at all. I need to sort an underwater camera out, but I'm not putting my phone in again. It knackered me last one. So, and I think so what do you think is, I mean, what do you think the step now going forward? Because we're talking about flow rates, and you know, I'm a big advisor when we put the beads on, he's smashing that water around for the flow.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I mean, I don't like to make drastic changes. I want to try and give things time to materialise to get me the best results. And I can appreciate that at the certain times a year that is never a constant. So
no.
Flow rates going forward might need to be adjusted up or down on the bead, or maybe even on the Nexus. But I'll always keep, you know, tinkering about with it to try and come to terms with certain times a year. Is it going to give me better results?
Yeah.
But I think it's just trying to understand dynamics of the pond and basically
and the ecosystem.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So, but yeah, have we got a bit of food knocking about, Craig? Give him a bit of a...
I'll just stop the feeder, I think.
Is that the manual?
That's the manual feed.
Manual
Yeah.
feed.
They're always super hungry.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like they're just like they're static. It's like there's no water and they're just hanging there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just absolutely amazing. Gosh, you're now looking well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really coming on that one. Yeah.
I think a few more koi in here. They happen to tell you I'm going to Japan next month.
Yeah, I better get the credit card ready.
Yeah. Look at that. So again, sorry for keeping talking on this one, but I just wanted to show you the results that we're having. And this isn't, like, Craig was the first person that I called, and I called another two people. I called one that we did a pond on. Do you remember the one which got all the filtration, but it's pump fed down in London? Done that one, and he's done the same thing. And he's also said, Tim, it's changed. He said, he said to me, he said, my water was crystal clear. He said, but so I really didn't want to do this. I didn't really have any need to do what you said, what you told me to do, but he did it. And next morning he said to me, Tim, he said, I thought my water was clear. He said, it's even clearer now. He said, it's even noticeable. Now, the good thing with the pumps and variable pumps, and also there's another guy in Wales who was having troubles with fines for quite a while, and he even bought some addition for his Nexus or something, I don't know what it was. And then, so I spoke to him, and then just as I arrived at Craig's now, he sent me a video saying, Tim, he said, my water is absolutely amazing. He says, no fines, no nothing, 4 foot deep. And he's just sent me the video like 10 minutes before I got here. So me and Craig have just watched that now, and it's working not just for Craig, it's working for everybody. Now, the thing is, the good thing with the beads is that we can do both with them because we're running on variable pumps. So in the summer when it's really hot and he's getting the temperature, he wants to feed a load and you want more flow around the pond, then you can knock them up, because you know that bead, even on a 12 hour at 6,000 litres, is clearing the pond. right? So you can use it that way if you want. But on the other side is that when this was going on, I mean, it's been, you know, it's only been just a week and a half. I've also been talking to the technical guys up at EA, so I've sent them the videos that Craig sent me, and they've been working on something which they're halfway through. So the things that they're working on for this sort of thing is just incredible as well. So, you know, it certainly opened my eyes when they were explaining what they're going to do, and you know, it'll be fantastic. So, but I just wanted to, we're just trying to, you know, every day's a school day in this game, no matter how many years you've been at it or anything like that. And it's amazing what you can just pick up, a little bit of information. But it's always made sense that's why I've always run Nexuses at a slower rate, because they will catch more fines, and now the beads are doing exactly the same. So, like I said, this will be a nice test on this pond, because Craig's going to up the feeding, and then he's going to test his water and make sure that all the water parameters are staying the same. Have you done the water test?
Yeah.
Recently, everything's spot on.
It's always been perfect.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking, with changing the flows and everything, you are going to get a change in the pond or the dynamic.
Yeah.
So this is, like I said, this is the first video we're going to do on it, and you know, I've asked a few other people. So if you are running a bead off a skimmer, try it. And just see the difference. I mean, I've asked 3 people, and all 3 people have said, Tim, it's just a massive difference. So I'm sure the other 2 people will comment on this video as well when it goes up, because they're on the YouTube. So, but yeah, I mean, it's just amazing. The water clarity now on this pond is the best that it's ever been in 4 years, just for a simple restriction in flow to the bead. And I'm talking like a 12-hour period. We saw the results in 12 hours overnight. All you did was go to bed, weren't it? And then you woke up to a different pond next morning.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, Craig is a technical guy. He likes to understand everything, and he likes to understand how it was going to go. And like I said, he didn't believe that this was going to work at all, but it has done. So, but anyway, we'll keep on this, and we will put more updates on from other customers and stuff like that, and hopefully we'll get a video together a bit more conclusive, and then hopefully EA has come out with what they're saying that they've been looking into, which is colossal. So hopefully we'll get that at some stage. But yeah, so this is the first one. Every day's a school day. We're always learning, but this has just changed this pond, and it's changed another 2 people's pond as well. So if you've got the same system, try it, and let's see where we go with it. All right, guys, see you on the next one. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you can. Cheers.